Welcome to Do Station, everyone, with yet another video. Today, our topic is JSA versus risk assessment versus risk management. I have selected this topic because I just noticed that some of our young and new HSC practitioners they have some confusions in their minds about the scope and limitations of each process. Sometimes they mix it. So I wanted to clear them. So today I will try to explain these processes so you can get clear understanding of each process, what their scope is and what are their limitations and how we integrate them. And also your feedback is very important. I'm waiting for that. Obviously, once you will give me the feedback, after that I can improve my content and I can make it more valuable for you. So let's move to our topic. Let's move to our topic. Today, our topic is JSA versus risk assessment versus risk management demystified. Problem statement acknowledge the common confusion between JSA, risk assessment, and risk management. So, let's understand this topic. So, now look at the introduction of this topic. As we know that JSA, job safety analysis, risk assessment, and risk management are the key and crucial processes and concepts in occupational health and safety. So it is very important for a practitioner or HSC practitioner to have clear understanding of each, and he knows that how to implement that and how they interact with each other. So, but I have noticed that some of the practitioners, especially the new one or young people who are new in the occupational health and safety, they have little confusions about these concepts, especially about their scope and about their limitations and how they integrate with each other and how they work together. So today I will try to explain these topics, and I would try to clear these concepts so one can understand what is the scope of each and what are the limitations and how they how we integrate them with each other. Okay, let's first define each of them. So, job safety analysis. Job safety analysis is a procedure for breaking down a job into its component parts, identifying the hazards associated with each part, and then developing the suitable control measures and then implementing them. So, basically, in the job safety analysis, we select a job, we identify all the hazards, and then we evaluate the risk associated with them, and then we implement the suitable control measures to make the job safe. Well, now let's define the risk assessment. So risk assessment is a process of evaluating the likelihood and potential impact of a hazard to determine the level of the risk associated with each hazard. So basically in the risk assessment process, what we do the same. First we identify the hazards, then we estimate it, then we evaluate the risk, and then we develop and implement suitable control measures to make sure that our activities are conducted in the safe manner. Now let's define the risk management process. So a systematic approach to identify, assess, prioritize, and control the risk to minimize the harm to people, equipment, and the environment. So basically, what is the risk management process? Again, here we identify the organizational hazards, then we evaluate their risks, and then we develop and implement suitable control measures. So the working environment of the organization is safe and sound. Now, conceptualize the idea. So if you have noticed that in the definition, I have distinguished all three processes by the definition. Let's explore it. So in the job safety analysis, by the definition, we saw it is the process in which we identify the hazards and then we evaluate the risk and then we implement the control measures. But the scope of the JSA is targeted on a specific single job or a task. So now look at the risk assessment process. So by definition, it also identifies the hazards, evaluates the risk, and then develop and implement suitable control measures. But here, the scope of the risk assessment is broader than that of the JSA. In the JSA, we focus on a single job or a task, but in the risk assessment, it usually covers the whole activity or sometimes more than one activity, where in the activity there may be more than one job. Also, the risk evaluation process in the risk assessment process is more complex than that in the JSA. In the risk assessment evaluation process, we evaluate the risk on the basis of its likelihood that the hazard will trigger and the amount of damage or the consequences of the incident. And we use the qualitative and quantitative technique to evaluate the risk. So now look at the risk management process. So by the definition, it also identifies the hazards, evaluates the risk, and then develop and implement the suitable control measures. But here, the scope of the risk management is even broader than that of the risk assessment. Here, we cover all the organizational hazards and we manage them. Also, in the risk management process, the risk mitigation strategies or plans involve more sophisticated and complex methods to develop them. To make it further easy, let's understand the concept using the concept of interconnectedness of all these three processes. So first, let's look at the job safety analysis. So in the job safety analysis, first we select a job, then we break down it into its components part and identify all the hazards, then evaluate all the associated risks, and then we develop and implement suitable control measures. So now look at the process of the risk assessment. Here also, first we identify the hazards, then we evaluate them, but we evaluate them on the basis of their likelihood and the potential severity, and then on the basis of this evaluation, we prioritize them. Then, in accordance with this prioritization, we develop the risk mitigation strategies or risk controlling strategies. So here you see that risk assessment is a more broader and is a more complex process than that of the JSA. Now look at the process of risk management. Here also we identify the hazards, then we evaluate the risk, and then we develop and implement suitable control measures. But here the scope is whole organization. In the risk management process, we cover all of the organizational hazards, then we evaluate all the risks, and then we develop suitable control measures and we implement them. Also, here the process of monitoring, evaluation, and review is more complex and systematic. We systematically monitor and review our process, which is continuous and regular. Also, it follows three key principles. Number one, assess the performance, review the performance, and then improve the performance. In assess the process, we evaluate our current performance and then we check whether we are on the track or not. Are we getting the desired results or not? In the review the performance, we try to find any gaps or areas of improvement. In improve the performance, we develop and implement a plan for those gaps or areas of improvements that we found in the last stage. In this way, we improve our performance, which is also called the continuous improvement process. I hope now you have a very good understanding of each process and also you clearly understand what is the scope of each and what are their limitations. In the next slide of the conclusion, you will also learn how they integrate with each other. Now let's conclude what we have learned. First, look at the JSA. So basically, now we can say that JSA is basically a hazard identification technique, and the scope of a JSA is a single job or the task. And risk assessment is the process of risk evaluation based on its evaluation of the likelihood and consequences. Then we prioritize the risk on the basis of this evaluation. And risk management is a process of managing all the organizational hazards by developing and implementing the risk mitigation strategies. And also we monitor and evaluate the performance in this process. So now we can say that by integrating all of these, so JSA basically identifies the hazard, then risk assessment evaluates the risk, and risk management basically manages all the risk of the organization. I hope now you have a clear understanding of each topic. Also, you know what is the scope of each and what are the limitations of each process. For today, thank you very much for watching. If you like anything, please like and subscribe my channel. See you soon again in the next video. Stay safe and healthy. Until then, goodbye. Thank you very much.